Hello, my name is Paul from Premium Vapor, here to do our first instructional video on how to use cartomizers and a basic eGo twist. First of all, we'll start with an eGo T battery. This is a twist battery, which means it's a variable voltage battery. Let's do the first thing, which is take it out of the wrapper. This is the best bit actually. Take that and throw it away. Now, you'll see on the bottom there is a knurled knob with a red line on it to indicate where in the voltage range it's at. The voltage range is from 3.3 volts all the way up to a whopping 4.8 volts. Has a on-off switch here, and an external thread and an internal thread, depending on which cartomizer you put on top of it. Next thing, we'll start with a basic cartomizer. This product here is disposable. It is a single coil disposable. Let's unwrap that, which is also a fun piece. You'll note that you can see inside there are some wicks and a coil head which is attached to the whole unit. We'll cover the interchangeable ones shortly. There's a mouthpiece. Now, to start with, you unscrew that and it slips out, and if you look carefully down the center, you'll see there is a pinhole tube in the middle. I'll get to that a bit later. And the next thing we need to do is fill it up. Now, there's two types of bottles that you might find at premiumvapor.co.nz. One is a pin bottle, and one is just your standard drip, what I call a drip tip bottle. Now, the pin bottles are much easier to use because they've got a long, narrow pin that you can easily get down the side of the cartomizer. The other one has a stubby tip, which is a little bit more tricky to use. So you take your cartomizer, that hole in the middle, don't put liquid in there. That's not where the liquid goes. The liquid has to go down the side, like so. Squeeze the bottle, squeeze the liquid into it, and you'll see it fill up. You don't need to overfill these things. I always suggest filling them up to about just underneath the top of the wick. Now, the stubby bottles are a bit trickier to fill. Now, if you've accidentally overfilled it or spilt juice into that center hole that we were talking about, you'll get a gurgling sound and maybe some juice in your mouth. Now, what you need to do is you need to figure out a way to fix this gurgling problem, because if it's gurgling, you're not getting a decent hit. So what you need to do, it's gurgling, how do I fix it? Really simple. You put the cap back on. Actually, while we're here, you'll notice there's a little plastic ring around that mouthpiece. That ring, you've got to keep an eye on that, make sure it stays where it belongs, which is on there, and doesn't slip into here, because otherwise you won't get a very good seal and there'll be a bit of plastic rolling around in there, which just doesn't seem right. Okay, so put this in, back to our getting rid of the excess juice. Put the lid on, put it into your mouth and blow. I suggest holding a tissue underneath it, because if there's juice in the tube, it's going to spray out. So blow it until it blows clear. Once it blows clear, take a cotton bud or a bit of tissue and clean this contact area in here. And the truth is if you've had it on your battery, you also need to clean in there, because juice in there and juice in there makes for a bad connection, which makes for a bad vape. Nobody likes a bad vape. So we screw it on. Don't over tighten it like anything. Just gently till it's firm and you're away. Now, it's really important to, once you've filled it for the first time, to let the juice soak for a little while and let it soak. Give yourself a minute, make yourself a cup of tea, chill, watch a cartoon, something like that. I always recommend starting on the lowest voltage, which is down here at 3.3 volts. You probably find that when you start it up and you try it on there, it hardly works. So we'll give it a go. A little bit, that's not bad, you know, it works. I think sometimes it's also a good idea to start with a lower voltage. I think it helps your coils bed in a bit better and slowly bring them up rather than just crank them up to full noise. I think if you crank them up to full noise, I don't know, maybe it just rushes them, and they don't seem to taste quite the same after that. So start on a low voltage, slowly bring it up. And you're starting to get a bit better that. Now I'm going to turn it up to about, let's go low 4s. And that's a good vape right there. Once you find your sweet spot, just leave it there. If you're trying to see how far you can go, keep turning it up, turn it up. If it starts to taste burnt, turn it back to where you like it, you know. Now you've found your sweet spot, you're pretty much ready to go. And that's the basic eGo T twist, which is available at premiumvapor.co.nz.